Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be how to blend your eyeshadow like a pro. This is technically a Teach Me Tuesday. I'm not going to be doing these every single Tuesday. I'm going to be doing them as kind of the inspiration strikes. So whenever I have like a how-to video or how to do this or how to do that, I'm gonna most likely upload them on a Tuesday and keep that whole Teach Me Tuesday theme going on. But if you're not seeing Teach Me Tuesdays every Tuesday, I'm giving you a heads up. It is going to be like on an inspiration base. But I am filming this video today because of you guys. I put in my last video, which I will link down below, which was a makeup look for the minimalist, which is just the complete opposite of what I got going on right now. It is just for like that very everyday simple minimalist type of girl. So I will link that below if you missed it. But I did include a poll in that. I put 3 options of videos that I wanted to record, and I wanted to know what you guys wanted to see, and this won. And I shouldn't have been surprised. Everybody wants to learn how to blend eyeshadow, and I get tons of compliments on how I blend my eyeshadow, so I figured, gotta do it. So I wanted to do a smoky eye for you guys, because smoky eyes never go out of style. They're a classic, and everybody's always asking how to achieve a smoky eye. Now it does differ per eye shape. You can Google how to do a smoky eye per eye shape, but I just wanted you guys to know, like, technique wise, how to go about using your eyeshadows and using the brushes you have, and if you don't have the right brushes, getting the right brushes. But I can't stress enough, it really just does take practice. And yeah, but if you can do a smoky eye, I think you can pretty much do anything. It all starts with being able to blend out a smoky eye. So I figured I'd start with the top of the list, which is everybody wants to learn how to do a smoky eye. So if you want to learn how to blend your eyeshadow like a pro and how to get this look, just keep watching. Okay guys, disclaimer, don't mind the hair. As most of you know, I've been recording at nighttime, so by this time of night, it's about 7:50. This is about all I have the patience or the care for. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to start with priming my eyelids. Most of this is going to be a talk through, but all the other unimportant stuff I will just kind of do a voiceover, or I'll just speed on through it. So I'm just going to be taking my Maybelline Master Camo palette, concealer palette, in the shade medium, and I'm just going to put this middle top shade here all over my lid as my primer. That is probably the most underrated but important step in applying any eyeshadow, is priming your lid. So many people think they could just go right into their bare skin, and then they wonder why throughout the day their shadow either creases or fades or doesn't blend well. So yeah, priming our lids is extremely important. So make sure if you have an eyeshadow primer, you can go ahead and use that. Concealer works. And I'm just buffing this in with my Sephora Pro Concealer 57 brush. I think it's called the Pro Concealer brush. And then it's also extremely important, after you have primed with any primer that you're using, even if it is not a concealer, to go ahead and set that, because you don't want it to be tacky when you go in with powder. So I'm going to be taking the original RCMA No Color powder on just a fluffy brush. Any fluffy brush will do. And I'm just going to set the entire lid all the way up to the brow bone. So I'm going to go in with my Modern Renaissance and the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. I'm telling you, by this time of night, my brain, good night. I chose this palette because these shadows are very, very pigmented, and they're very soft and easy to work with. I think the quality of the product that you use also plays a really big role in how well your eyeshadows blend. If you use a really cheap product, you're gonna get patchiness, it's not gonna be very pigmented, you're gonna get frustrated, and you're gonna think it's you, and it's not you. It has a lot to do with the product. So just get your hands on a really good quality eyeshadow palette. So to start off, to achieve any really seamless, perfectly blended eye look, you want to start off with like a base shade, and a lot of people call this a transition shade. This is usually a very neutral color, a cool tone, warm tone, neutral color. So I'm going to go in with this raw orange right here in the palette, and I'm just taking this on a fluffy Morphe brush. You also want to go in with your transition shades on a really, really fluffy brush, something that'll just disperse the product nice and easily. Another thing is you want to hold your brush at the end of the barrel, never in the head of the barrel, because this is going to apply more pressure when you're blending, and when you're blending your eyeshadows, you want to be holding the end of the brush like this so that you can work nice and big circles and blend really easily. If you hold it this way, it's going to be much harder for you to blend. Only when I'm packing on shadow will I hold it here because I really want to press on the shadow. So just pay close attention to where I hold the brush and how I move the brush. Oh my god, my hair looks so much worse when I'm zoomed in like this. I need to fix this. Hold on. Okay, I tried to make myself look somewhat presentable. So moving on, as I said, I'm just jumping into that shade Burnt Orange with the Morphe M504 brush. I'm just going to start doing little teeny tiny circular motions. I'm not putting a lot of pressure and I'm not doing large circles, and I'm just working first on the outer corner. When doing a smoky eye, I like to lay the product out where I want it first, and then you can go about blending it. So this shade, you don't have to worry about being super precise or super neat, because smoky eyes, you can be actually pretty messy. The messier it looks, I think, the more blended or the nicer it looks, because smoky eyes tend to be nice and blown up towards your brow bone. So now that I've worked it into my crease, now I'll start doing like little circles up into the brow bone. I never want there to be a harsh line between my transition shade and my brow bone area. You want it to be nice and like gradient. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of Burnt Orange, and now I'm just going to focus most of this into the crease. So as you can see, it just intensified this shade more, and I'm also working it in the inner corner. I'm working inward. So also when doing circles, you want to work inward towards the lid, concentrating most of this color into the crease. And then once there's pretty much nothing on the brush, then I'll work it up towards the brow bone to create that nice gradient. And I'm just gonna do the same exact thing to the other eye. I'm gonna go in here with the shade Real Guard, and I'm gonna also work this into my crease because I want this smoky eye to be a nice burnt orangey type of shade. And I'm taking Real Guard on the same brush. The only difference is I'm not gonna blow this up into the brow bone the way I did with Burnt Orange. I'm just gonna really focus this into the crease and kind of work it downward towards the lid. And this is how you're really gonna achieve that smoky effect, is blending all the shades seamlessly together and merging multiple shades together. It's deceiving to the eye, but when you see a smoky eye, it usually just looks like a ton of black is on the lid, or like a deep rich brown, and like something is in the crease or like in the brow bone area. But usually it's multiple shades that get you to achieve like that gradients and like that smoky effect. And as you can see, I'm just doing windshield wiper motions in the crease. I'm not doing circles, and I'm blending it more so onto my lid than up into the brow bone. Taking a little bit more of the Burnt Orange shade, I'm just gonna go back over everything and make sure everything is nice and blended. You can blow this up as much as you'd like. I like to bring it pretty close to my brow bone area. And it always looks messy at first. The trick is to keep going. Everything comes together at the end, especially these initial transition shades. They always look very, very messy, so don't get discouraged. You just have to keep going. Okay, so now for that dark lid that everybody loves in a smoky eye, we are gonna take a different brush. This is called a packing brush. So as you can see, it's just a shorter, bristled, more dense brush. This is the brush we were using in our transition. It's much more fluffy and it moves around, whereas this one, it's just gonna really pack on the color, which is what we want. So I'm gonna go into the shade here, Cypress Umber. So as you can see, a smoky eye doesn't have to be a super black eye. You can really play with your colors. And this is where I'm gonna hold my brush closer to the head of the actual brush, and I'm literally just gonna be packing this on. So you can see how dark and rich that looks compared to when we were playing with the transition shades. Want to work it closest to your lash line first and the lid. And make sure it comes pretty close to your crease. Okay, now taking the same buffing or the same blending brush we used earlier, I'm gonna just do windshield wipers in the crease to get rid of that harsh line. Now with this shade, you usually have to go in with another like layer. You gotta pack it on again because blending this portion right here usually blends out the richness of the dark shade. And you're just gonna see me go back and forth now, grabbing the Cypress Umber shade and my blending brush, and I'm just gonna keep packing it on and blending it out and packing it on and blending it out. Once you've laid out that dark shade, I'm gonna go back in with that original transition shade, Burnt Orange. You could go in with Real Guard too, but I'm just taking this into this area here to blend the crease area a bit. I'm gonna drag it out here, the outer corner, because when I go clean it up with a makeup wipe later, I want there to be a nice clean line. So that's also a little trick if you're trying to achieve a nice cat eye. Just bring out your eyeshadow, don't worry, it's gonna all come together. That's probably gotta be the hardest part when coming to like blending a look, is being patient enough to stick around for the final result, because this part can drive somebody nuts. Because I know some of you are probably looking at it now and going, oh my god, that looks like a mess, it looks crazy. So now I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and I'm just going to clean all this up under here. And this is what I meant before about creating like a nice outer corner cat eye. It just cleans it up and it makes it look much nicer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of my face. I will do that on camera because I know some of you like seeing a whole full face, but I'm probably not going to narrate too much of it. I'm just going to kind of breeze through it and you guys can see the products I'm using, because this is just a how to blend eyeshadow. And then once I do my face, I'll finish the lower lash line and I'll come back and continue narrating that. Okay, so this is my face pretty much done, so we are going to move on to the eyes. And on my Morphe E18 brush, which is just a teeny tiny pencil brush, it's more of like a rounded pencil brush, not a pointed one. I'm going to go into Burnt Orange, which is what was our transition shade, and I'm just going to blend my lower lash lines with this shade. And I'm holding this brush at the end of the barrel also, because I want this to blend nicely on the lower lash line. And I'm dragging this pretty close to the inner corner, not all the way in, but right about here. And I want to connect it with this outer corner that we've created here so that it could make a nice seamless cat eye. So I am going to just drag Burnt Orange out here a little bit, and it's also going to diffuse the harshness of this line. If you like the harsh line like that, then just go ahead and leave it. Sometimes I leave it too. It's really just how I'm feeling, what you like. There's no rules to makeup, people. You do whatever you want. And I'm gonna blend this kind of, not low, but I'm gonna blend it downward a little bit because we are gonna go in with Cypress Umber like we did on the lid, very close to the lash line. So we wanna create that same like gradient. And now taking, so it's like a teeny tiny, really thin and skinny like shader brush, but this is really great for blending the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna go back into Cypress Umber here. So we're going to drag it very, very tight and very close to the lash line. So I'm not gonna drag this down the way I did with Burnt Orange. And I really am just focusing this onto my lashes, so I'm not pulling it all the way in the way I did with the Burnt Orange. And then with the same brush, you can like start to smudge it into Burnt Orange so there isn't like a super harsh line. And going back in with Burnt Orange, I'm just going to blend right underneath that so that we don't lose that burnt orange shade. Now you can go into your waterline with like a brown, if you have like an orange eyeliner, a black, whatever, anything would really work. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna grab. So I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild Kohl crayon. This is in the shade, it says Simma Brown. Okay, and you guys saw me use the Anastasia and Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit on my cheekbone. I went into the orange shade here, Daydream. As you can see, I am playing with lots of oranges, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this as my inner corner and brow bone highlight. Okay, so lashes are on and I love them. And to finish off, I'm gonna go in with a lipstick. I'm just grabbing Anastasia's liquid lipstick in Sepia, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on. And yeah, I'll be right back. So this is the finished look, guys. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I really just kind of swung this look together like 20 minutes before filming. I knew you guys wanted to see how to blend like a pro, but as far as the look is concerned, I literally just thought it up as I was getting ready to film. And I know spring just sprung, but where I am, there is still snow outside, so I'm gonna just rock out to these dark winter shades for just a little bit longer. So yeah, I think that's it. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comment below. Again, thank you for those that participated in my polls. Look for those in future videos. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!